Hello everyone, it's your girl Tanya with Books and Brown Liquor, and this video is my January wrap-up. And for January, I would say January was a really good reading month for me. I read 5 books and I didn't hate none of them, okay? I really can't talk trash about none of these. Thank God, okay? Because that's not always the case. Anyway, book number 1, The Pact by Sharon Bolton. I talked about this a few weeks ago. This is my first time reading this author, and I always say, you know that old saying, idle hands are the devil's playground? This book is the perfect example of bored teenagers are the problem, basically. Okay, so you got some teenagers. The story takes place in the UK. These are teenagers that are pretty wealthy. They're well off. So the last thing you need is bored, rich teenagers who have access to a vehicle. So these kids, they're bored, they're drunk, and they decide they're going to do a stupid ass prank. I don't know why pranks always have to be things that involve life-threatening shit, but basically someone gets hurt badly. Okay, because they were bored, someone gets really hurt, and they decide that instead of all of them going down, one person agrees to take the fall. And after she does her time in prison, after she does her time in prison, basically they owe her. Okay. So fast forward 20 years later, your girl's out of prison and it's time to pay up. And I'm gonna tell you right now, when she gets out of prison, her welcome back to the group, it's not warm. It's not warm at all. I'm saying this woman did time for you. Okay, my bad. Let me calm down. This woman did time and she comes back and they're all like, what, excuse me? So they're acting all funky, you know. A lot of time has gone by. The friendship group is not as tight as it used to be. But like I said, she's out of prison and it's time to pay the piper. So what's up? Okay. So things start going left. And these kids I think they're jerks. I can't stand these people. This girl did you a huge solid. Okay. I don't care if this bitch needs a kidney. All right. I'd rather give her a kidney than spend 20 years in prison. And the 20 years in prison, needless to say, it was not pleasant. Okay. Anyway, things go left. And I'm just going to say, I was under the impression that she would be out for like revenge or vengeance, but she was actually not the bad guy, if you will. And that's all I'm gonna say. I actually enjoyed this. Yes, these people got on my nerves, but I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the story. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. The next book was Crossroads by Laurel Hightower. Okay. I'm gonna try not to be dramatic. This book, it broke my heart a little bit. Our main character, she is a woman who is grieving the loss of her son. And one day she is at the, what do they call that? When someone dies, like in an automobile accident, and you see they set up the memorial or like the shrine to that person. So on a regular basis, she visits the place where her son died. And one day, she sees the spirit of her son, right? And she believes that by making certain sacrifices, she can maintain a connection with her son. Saying that out loud, I know how that sounds, but when you're a grieving mother and this is your only child, I feel like a person who's grieving, they'll do anything to maintain a connection to a lost loved one, right? And that's why when you're grieving, it is very important to be careful because there are people and things that take advantage of a mother's grieving heart, okay? So, in a nutshell, the story is about what a mother is willing to sacrifice to maintain a connection with her deceased son. That's all I can say. I loved this book, okay? my heart ached for this woman. I wanted so badly for this woman to be okay. But it's creepy. It's dark. Excuse me. And overall, I think it's a really good story. I love this. I will be looking for more from this author. I enjoyed this so much. Excuse me. I just had some lemonade. My bad. Okay. The next book is The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher. I enjoyed this book as well. This is like folklore, folk horror, everything I love in a book. So our main character, her name is Melissa, but she goes by the name Mouse. Her grandmother, her grandmother passes away, and basically she is assigned the task of cleaning out grandma's old junky ass house. Yay! So she goes to grandma's house in like a small town in North Carolina, and she's got her work cut out for her. Okay. So she's going to be there for a while. She takes her dog with her. And as she is cleaning out this old house, because it's full of a whole bunch of junk, and like I said, she's got her work cut out for her, she goes into her grandmother's, okay, let me rewind. Her grandmother's deceased husband. So this is not her grandfather. This is like her step grandfather, but he passed away before the grandmother. I did my best to explain that. I'm sorry. But she's reading his old journal. And the stuff in the journal is really off-putting because he's talking about, I'm trying not to give it away. The stuff he's saying, it's entertaining. It's very colorful, but it's weird. Okay. But she can't put it down. It's really interesting. It's weird, but it's interesting. And then as she's out walking her dog, she starts seeing some weird things. As she's staying in this house, she's hearing some weird things. And then as she's reading this old journal from her step-granddaddy, she realizes there's a connection between the shit she's experiencing and the weird shit that's in this book. So did he know something? What, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to give too much away, but what I will say is the plot does thicken. And let's just say the stuff that's in the journal, it's very relevant, okay? But this is folklore. This is stuff where it's the type of thing that you don't really go to the police about, right? Like, these are those stories that people whisper about behind closed doors, but you would never go to the authorities like with something like this. It's magical, it's mystical, it's folk. It's like a folk urban legend, if you will, right? And then she kind of discovers that this folk legend, it's for real. I loved it. I loved it. It was so creepy. It was so creepy. My favorite. Yeah, it was so good. It scared me. I enjoyed it. So moving on. The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. I think I went into detail in my previous video about how much I loved this book. Number one, I love Tiffany D. Jackson's writing. Anything she writes, I'm reading it. Number two, this is a retelling of Carrie. Carrie, okay? I don't even do retellings. I don't give a damn how many times they go and remix Cinderella. I don't give a damn about none of it, okay? But when I saw this was a retelling of Carrie, I was like, word? Yeah. So there are some, she does some modifications, if you will. So it takes place in the Deep South, small town, racial tensions. So our main character, her name is Maddie Washington. She is the proverbial outcast, has no friends. She's picked on, she's bullied, she is terrorized constantly. And at this point in the book, she is discovering her gift of telekinesis, right? This is just the beginning. So, her bullying that she's experiencing, a lot of it is racially motivated, Like I said, it's in the dirty South, right? And some of the bullying, it goes so far that it catches the attention of the media. So in an effort to appease the reputation of the school, you know, like, we not racist, you know what I'm saying? Like, we was just playing. And in an effort to, you know, save the reputation of the school, let me back up. This school is, like I said, it's in the dirty South. This school is so racially ass backwards. They actually have two proms, a white prom and a black prom. So in an effort to save the reputation of the school, we're going to do an all-together prom because that's going to make everything okay. We ain't racist. Where the fuck you been? Anyway, my bad. So as you know, for those of you that read Carrie, I think we all know how prom went. I'm not going to say no more. This book was amazing. 5 stars. Hats off, Tiffany Jackson. I love you. Can't wait for the next book. This book was good as hell. Okay? Yes. And the last book, The Vessel, by Adam Neville. As you know, I always talk about my favorite Adam Neville book is The Ritual. I'm saying it again, in case you don't know. This book is a folk horror, okay? Our main character is Jess. She is one of those nurses that goes to people's homes, and her new client, she's not friendly. She's not nice at all. Matter of fact, she can't stand Jess, and she has no problem letting her know. But as she goes to her house, she's noticing that she has some weird occult decor. Like, you know, stick figures and shadow stuff and weird occult type shit. It's creepy, okay? But this woman's in a wheelchair. What harm can she do? So she notices that one day she has to bring her daughter to work, and her daughter and this woman form this really tight bond. So she's like, okay, I guess how bad can this witch be? Whatever. And this is a slow burn. And it slowly builds up to a very gruesome, exciting climax at the end. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say, because it's kind of a quick read. Like I said, slow burn, builds up, and boom, at the end. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. But that concludes my January wrap up. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you good reading. Bye.